Just before President Vladimir Putin lands into India, a diplomatic firestorm has taken New Delhi and it has engulfed it. The reason is because of an article published by three different diplomats from countries such as France, United Kingdom, as well as Germany. Now, this also has led to a counter opinion article published by Ambassador of Russia, that is Denis Alipov, and also it seems that New Delhi is not very happy with the way how this war of words is taking place between different diplomats stationed in New Delhi. So, what is reason behind such diplomatic firestorm? Let us try to decode and understand this in more detail. So, first of all, to give you entire idea behind the context of this particular topic, you can see that countries such as UK, France, and Germany and Envoy have jointly published an article in the Times of India. The article was largely critical of Vladimir Putin, and especially it is targeting Russian president as far as the Russia's war against Ukraine is concerned. Also, the timing is very crucial because we know that Vladimir Putin has landed today in New Delhi itself. He is on a bilateral visit to India where he is expected to sign a lot of important pacts and agreements between India and Russia. And this publication of this article reeks of some sort of political malaise. India's reaction has been quite, we can say, this stern in this regard. Ministry of External Affairs, it has released an official statement where it has said that such kind of behavior by diplomats who are especially at higher office is unacceptable and also unusual in nature. The timing and interference in the internal affairs of India is something that also is a point raised by many experts such as the former Foreign Secretary of India Kamal Simbal. He has stated that the diplomats have shown a poor judgment by publishing such an article and are trying to jeopardize a bilateral relationship which India has enjoyed a strong relationship, we can say, with Russia and before also with Soviet Union. Overall, the entire article has criticized to a large extent the partnership between India and Russia, and it seems to be targeting the bilateral ties as such. If you try to look at this particular article, as you can see, the heading of the article was that the world wants the Ukraine war to end, but Russia does not seem serious about peace. This is an allegation that these diplomats from Britain, Germany, and France have led. They have also blamed that it is only Russia who is responsible for prolonging Ukrainian war. We know that Ukraine war began somewhere in the year 2022, and since then it has lasted without much changes in the recent time as such. It also has accused, in the article basically, the article has accused Moscow of committing war crimes, where it has targeted the civilians in the Ukraine as such, and also ruthless attacks carried out against large number of innocent people. Also, the article clearly states that Russia has largely been involved in carrying out cyber attacks and spreading disinformation or misinformation about Ukraine war and also about European partners and America in general. Putin could end war anytime he wishes. That is also what these diplomats are trying to give. The reason why Russia is not ending war is because they say it is because the president of Russia does not want it. Now, before moving further, I would want to bring your attention to the fact that Legacy IAS Academy, we are going to soon commence batches. The regular weekday batches are going to start on 15th of December, while weekend batches are going to start on 6th of December. In this particular batch and course, we ensure comprehensive coverage of all the GS paper, one-to-one mentorship and doubt-solving session, regular interaction with educator, daily mains and writing practice, and also, as we know that as an aspirant you should be aware about your strength and weaknesses, and that is only possible if you are participating and getting feedback through the test series, and that is why we have incorporated it in our program. We also have ensured 360-degree coverage of the current affairs as is demand of UPSC examination. If you want to know more detail about the course programs and features, you can click the link in the description box of this particular video. You can also download our Legacy IAS app and you can reach out to us at the number being displayed here. At the same time, if you like this video, please ensure to hit the like button and subscribe our channel. Now, coming back to this particular topic, the envoys also have made several more claims. First of all, they have said that the Russia not only is committing war crimes in Ukraine or is prolonging the war in Ukraine, but at the same time it has taken many measures to destabilize Europe as such. For example, in recent times there has been accusation of airspace incursion where Russia has deliberately sent its drones and fighter jet aircrafts in the NATO territories as such. Overall, global aggressive posture is something that is being seen in the foreign policies of Russia. At the same time, European envoys have cited PM Modi's remark that solution cannot be found on the battlefield. We know that last year PM Modi, while talking about Russia-Ukraine war, has clearly stated that this is not an era of war, and that is something, a kind of message that India also has kept on reiterating whenever a question is asked that what is its stance as far as this entire war is concerned. India's disapproval we talk about is obviously because of the timing, as it is considered diplomatically insensitive because President Putin has just landed in India, the capital of India, that is New Delhi, and thus overall it seems that such article is attempt to influence the stance of India, and overall it also to some extent suggests some kind of pressure being built by the Western countries on India. One example of pressure we already have seen earlier when US has slapped 25% of additional tariff on India because India was engaged in oil trade with Russia as such. Now, in this regard, former Foreign Secretary Kamal Sibal, who was an ambassador to both France and Russia, has stated that such publication of article by envoys of Western countries is nothing but a diplomatic insult to India, and it is overall an attempt to spark anti-Russia sentiment, especially in those lobbies who are favoring European policies. Now, coming back to this entire discussion again, Russia also has taken note of this, and its ambassador Denis Alipov then published a counter article, and we can say that Russia has hit back to these hit back through the we can say these words as such. Also, in this particular article, Denis Alipov has stated that there are 4 treacheries that Europe has committed, which are impending peace in Ukraine as such. For example, he claimed Europe and US was the one who are largely responsible for triggering crisis in 2014. 2014 is no crisis that has taken place because Viktor Yanukovych, who was going to be elected as the president of Ukraine, he was overthrown, and basically this is considered by Russia as a work that is jointly planned by US and kind of having a foreign interference in the democratic elections of Ukraine. At the same time, he also called Ukraine war outcome of Western interference. Russia has published its counter narrative as well, where the 4 narratives they have talked about, the 4 treacheries they have talked about has been listed in this article. For example, European Union backed coup against Yanukovych, where they have said that, where Denis Alipov has said that there is a clear, or he has alleged there is a clear European involvement in this particular kind of coup. Yanukovych was a pro-Russian leader who was going to be elected as the president of Ukraine. Similarly, Europe also pushed Ukraine to escalate war. That is what other claims that Russia has made. European Union tried to block peace plan backed by Trump, and thus he has alleged that European Union is obstructing resolution of this entire matter, and Europe also is being described by him as a true warmonger. That is how Russia has characterized European Union as such. Now, this entire verbal war that we have seen erupting in the recent week is very significant for India. It matters for India also because you know that India currently, if we talk about, has a strong relationship with both Western countries, including US and the major powers of European Union, as well as has a historical and time-tested relationship with Russia as well. And thus, India has a we can say a problem in maintaining a balanced strategic ties. At the same time, longest standing partnership with Russia that it has enjoyed, it did not want to let it go, or did not want to basically let it decline because of these changes, international changes that is taking place. At the same time, India also, at the same time, Russia also, we can say, both countries are trying to expand bilateral trade and defense cooperation, because as far as the trade between India and Russia is concerned, it is largely dominated by 2 spheres. One is defense and other is oil. Again, oil trade is expected to go down in the future because the sanctions have been imposed on Russian oil companies. European criticism challenges India's neutral diplomacy, and it is interesting to see how India walks this diplomatic tightrope, and that is something we have to wait, watch and see. Now, this entire episode signals 3-4 important points. First of all, global alignments are very fragile in nature. Diplomatic intentions that we see developing between 2 countries, even strong, we can say, allies, is example of instability. At the same time, the pressure tactics have been continuously used by European Union and US in over India to position itself clearly as far as the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, and these expectations keep on mounting. At the same time, India has till now asserted its strategic autonomy and has ensured that its foreign policy cannot be controlled and determined by what other country is saying. Largely, it will be determined by what is in India's national interest, and that is why independent foreign policy stance the government is trying to project. Putin visit is very important as far as the Indo-Russia trajectory or relationship is concerned, because this visit is likely to further shape bilateral relationship between both countries. So that's all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your aspirants, as a subscribe channel for more content. Thank you very much.